Namaskar. Good morning. A hearty welcome to all of you present here. The Department of Political Science, GC College Silchar, has the proud privilege to arrange a series of national webinars in collaboration with the Internal Quality Assessment Cell, GC College. This is Dr. Swarupa Bhattacharjee, Head, Department of Political Science, GC College Silchar, who is also the convener of the webinar series. Today, on this 9th September 2020, we are having the first webinar, the topic of which is Prospects of Higher Education in the Context of COVID-19 Pandemic, Challenges and Ways Out. To begin with, at first we are privileged that our principal sir is with us. Let me take him on the screen. Dr. Bibhas Deb, sir.
Yes. Good morning
Good
to
morning,
all of you.
sir. Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I would also like to have Dr. Rajashree Pal, madam. Rajashree Pal, madam, our coordinator IQSC. Perhaps she will be coming a bit later. We are very proud that two renowned scholars, Professor Pradeep Kumar Parida is amidst us. Let us take him. Professor Parida, are you getting us?
Yeah. Namaste, good morning. I'm here.
Namaskar, sir. A hearty welcome to both of you. And we are expecting that our the other dignitaries, Professor subhrabrata Choudhury, will be joining us very soon. However, I am happy to say that a host of participants across the whole nation have registered with this program, and I believe from the core of my heart that for the participation of generous participation of the participants, a program cannot be a successful one. The organizing committee is honored with the participation of students from different cadres, honorable faculties, principals, dignitaries from different institutions across the nation, research scholars, independent researchers, interested members of the society, and many more. We shall have the introduction session at the end of the deliberation of every resource person. The participants are requested to make comments and queries at the live chat box. And it is we are very happy to say that this entire program will be is live, and it is visible in the YouTube channel of GCCE Academia. The participants are requested to make comments and queries at the live chat box. The resource person, after the end of their deliberation, will address the questions and queries. Further, all the participants will be provided with the feedback forms at the end of the program. After the submission of the feedback forms, e-certificates will be provided to all of you. And we are very happy to have Professor subhrabrata Choudhury also with amidst us. Good morning, sir, and
Good
a hearty
morning.
welcome to you.
Good morning to
Sir,
everyone.
thank you, sir. Just before starting our program, I am inviting my esteemed colleague, Mrs. Deepanwita from the Department of Political Science, to explain the purpose of the webinar. Over to Deepanwita, madam. I think
A very good morning to one and everyone present over here. It's indeed a proud privilege for the Department of Political Science to organize today this webinar, which is titled as The Prospects of Higher Education in the Context of COVID-19 Pandemic, Challenges and Ways Out. We are all aware of the fact that due to this COVID-19 pandemic situation, Higher education is facing a tremendous crisis in all the institutions, universities, and research institutes. Although online education are initiated in almost every part of the country, yet the basic questions which have been haunting to all of us are: can online education or online classes be a proper substitute of classroom teaching? How far can the online education be reachable to all the students residing in every corner of the nation? What is the future of higher education in the context of present scenario? How far can the technological development help the poor and needy students residing in remote corners of the country in pursuing their education? Thus, in order to search for the answers of these questions and to help the government to formulate suitable policy during this traumatic situation, this national webinar is being organized today. So the Department of Political Science is hoping for all your blessings and good wishes. And I hope with all your blessings and good wishes, this program will be really successful. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Deepanwita madam. Now I would like to request our principal sir, Dr. Bibhas Deb, to give his welcome address, sir, on this beautiful occasion. Being the head of the institution, he is the main source of our all inspiration for undertaking different positive responsibilities, which enhances, which boosts our confidence to do something good. Over to principal, sir.
Well, namaskar and good morning to all of you. Respected Dr. Rajashree Pal, IQAC coordinator, Dr. Swarupa Bhattacharjee, head of the Department of Political Science, respected Pradeep Kumar Poridha sir from Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Petroleum, Amethi, respected Professor Choudhury from NIT Durgapur, other participants, research scholar, teachers, students. I, on behalf of Gurucharan College, Silchar, and on my behalf, welcome you all in this webinar on the topic prospects of higher education in the context of COVID-19 pandemic, challenges and ways out. This is an important topic chosen by the Department of Political Science for today's discussion. It is really very alarming regarding the method or the process on which way we are to give the education to our students, to our future generation. Whatever I believe, our experts are there, Horidas are there, and the Choudhury sir is there. They will share their valuable views in this discussion. But one thing I would like to share, that is Gurucharan College is one of the oldest college in this northeastern region. We are running with the 25 departments. One of the department is political science. And they are taking very good initiative in different aspects of academic exercises. And this is one of them. And the topic is very rightly chosen in this COVID-19 pandemic. Everything stands still in the higher education sector, though Gurucharan College, different departments taking different types of initiatives in the form of classroom, online classroom coaching, online lectures, online awareness program, different types of activities are taken by the various departments. And I am really very much proud of various departments that they are taking such a good initiative. Most important thing is that uh, uh, I believe that is the physical classroom uh, teaching is more effective than the online classes. And one more difficulties is there, that is we are not in a position to reach all the students of our college, of our state, or of our nation. So we have to find out some solution in this regard. I believe our experts will share their valuable views, their experiences, and we'll draw a conclusion on that, and on the basis of which we'll run in future. So with this, I once again thank our two experts, Pradeep Kumar Poridha, Dr. Pradeep Kumar Poridha and Subhrabrata Choudhury, for giving our to respond our call and share their valuable experiences. So finally, once again, I thank the Department of Political Science for organizing such a beautiful function, beautiful webinar, and I believe they will organize, inviting different experts from different corners of our country, and make our students, teachers, and the scholars enrich. With this, I thank all the persons, especially two speakers. I want to conclude here. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Principal Sir, Professor Bibhas Deb, Dr. Bibhas Deb, sir. And in fact, it is the result of your positive inspiration, which is always there with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Gurucharan College Silchar is very proud to have its very vibrant IQSC, and it is basically because of the special initiative of the IQSC coordinator and the most vibrant technical team of the IQSC. The Department of Political Science could arrange such a beautiful venture. In fact, we are waiting for the participation of Dr. Rajashree Pal, ma'am. I think some net issues is there. I think she will be joining very soon. In on this opportunity, I would like to give my special thanks to Dr. Debashish Sharma from the Department of Mathematics, Dr. Soumitra Nath from the Department of Biotechnology, Professor Abhijit Pal from the Department of Computer Science, Sri Nirupam Malakar from the Department of Botany, Keshav Luitel from the Department of Sanskrit, Arjun Choudhury, Dr. Arjun Choudhury, Department of English. They are the technical team, and I owe my indebtedness to the technical support given by the IQSC. We are very much happy to say that our Honorable President, sir, President Governing Body GC College, Professor Jyotilal Choudhury, has motivated us with his inspiring message for us. He has sent his good wishes and message for us yesterday itself. I am requesting Dr. Debashish, please play his message on this beautiful occasion.
it gives me pleasure to share my views on the national seminar that is going to be held tomorrow at the initiative of Department of Political Science of Gurucharan College. The subject selected for this national seminar is of great importance and significance in view of the new education policy introduced by the central government. In fact, the issue of education, higher education, has always been the subject matter of debate, discussion, and dialogue, and the dialogue continues. The subject matter of national seminar, as initiated by the Department of Political Science, is quite relevant, which has been entitled as Prospect of Higher Education in the Context of COVID-19 Pandemic, Challenges and Ways Out. At the outset, I must thank and congratulate Dr. Swarupa Bhattacharjee, Head of the Department of Political Science, her team of dedicated teachers and most endearing students. I am confident this seminar to be participated by eminent scholars like Dr. Pradeep Kumar Parida and Professor Subhrabrata Choudhury. Eminent scholars will add a new dimension and direction to the discussion. The dialogue on national seminar will be of great academic interest, no doubt, and it will also be of great benefit to the teachers and the students and the academics as a whole. It is no exaggeration to say that the Department of Political Science of this premier institution, Gurucharan College, has been in the forefront among some of the departments or disciplines of the college to organize from time to time seminars, discussions, dialogue, as well as quiz and other academic and extra academic activities. This is enough to say that other departments should also come forward and add to the academic glorification of this college for which it is known. At the same time, I would also like to thank and congratulate Dr. Bibhas Deb, Principal of this college, Dr. Rashri Pal, Coordinator IQAC, and most endearing teacher, Dr. Swarupa Bhattacharjee. This academic exercise will further add a feather to the crowning glory of this institution, Gurucharan College, which has attained 85 years of its glorious existence. I wish the national seminar a great success.
Thank you, President sir. It is rather our proud privilege to receive the all-along inspiration for all our positive ventures. Now, I would like to know. I would like to go to the our honorable resource persons to know their feelings, how their feelings, how they are feeling coming over here. Over to Choudhury sir. Sorry, over
This
to
is
Choudhury sir.
yes. Okay. So my feeling is somewhat. First of all, that excitement of coming is not there. it's like that we are interacting with each other. It's fine. But coming is somewhat different thing that which we will be missing. We are missing in the classroom teaching. Uh, so I'm a son of soil. Basically, I was brought up in Karimganj, and GC College definitely during our time was the uh, most famous or center of higher education in Barak Valley. So it is a great opportunity to me that to be a part of this very traditionally successful or reputed institute. And definitely uh, regarding this pandemic uh, and continuing higher education in pandemic is this is the thought that is always uh, we are facing the problem every day. We are getting separated from the students. I have got a feeling like that somewhat. Students are also getting mentally separated from us. So definitely we have to look into it. We what we are doing, like all of you, we are also having certain feelings, certain experiences. So it is my opportunity. I am really grateful to the organizers and authority of the institute, the GC College, and IQAC specifically. I would like to give a special thank to Swarupa Bhattacharjee, madam. So this is a opportunity to me to experience, uh, to share my experience that I have gained during that time, and I hope that this is the way by which interacting with each other, possibly we can learn from each other and find out a solution. So whatever today my contribution, generally when we go for a lecture or something, presenting something in the seminar, it becomes that we say about something what we have done, some what we present, we receive questions and something like that. Now it is this kind of topic when it comes. So it's a burning issue and well-defined solution is not available. Even I don't know about it. So it is not a resource person or something like that. We will discuss together. Possibly
Exactly.
I will get a little bit more time to say what my feeling is. And I will try to share so that we can do as much as possible to uh, control the hazardous or devastating effect of this pandemic. If we can
Exactly.
do a bit of our regarding that, I will share my experience. I'm
That is
not
the
expert in
need
the
of the
field.
hour. That is the need of the hour.
I'm not an expert in the field, definitely. Means all of you know that I am from computer science. So uh, we'll just try to discuss and uh, suggest something for time being. Okay. Like what we call nowadays new normal terms SOP for taking classes, etc. So thank you all, and it's very what can I say? I am very grateful and I am very much excited to be here in this traditionally reputed institute of our soil, my soil. So
Thank you. Thank you,
thank
sir.
you all.
Thank you, Professor subhrabrata Choudhury. We will be. We know that your good wishes are with us, and I would request you to remain.
Definitely.
Though you are the. I mean, you will be presenting your views in the second session, but I'd like to request you to remain all along in the webinar program. And now I would like to go to Professor Pradeep Kumar Parida from Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Petroleum Technology. Sir, how are you feeling?
Good morning and namaste. I'm extremely happy to be a part of the discussion panel or resource person in this national level seminar in the presence of stalwarts like Professor Bibhas Deb, one of the senior most teacher, I believe. He could have been my teacher had I been in Gurucharan College. Professor Subhrabrata Choudhury, of course, a senior, very senior teacher, and I am sure he must have taught generation of students like me. I am extremely happy to be amidst them, interact with them, learn something, put forward my views. Though there is a problem from my side, in the sense I had long association with Swarupa Bhattacharjee, I believe more than 5 years, when I visited North Bengal University as a resource person in the academic staff college, and first time I met her and our friendship, academic fraternity friendship, and as a colleague, as we are from the same profession, it continued till date. However, I didn't pay attention to the title of the seminar. Rather, I prepared myself for the most contentious topic, which is being discussed among the academia about the new education policy, and in that context, what can be the role of a college, like say Gurucharan College or say my college, something like that. I'm prepared for that. Though the new education policy didn't talk anything about pandemic, but nonetheless, it's a learning for all of us. As Professor Choudhury has rightly pointed out, like SOP, how to take a class nowadays. However, when I used to be a student in 90s or 2000 onwards for some time, we are never attended in class and online. There are some lectures, YouTube, etc., etc. But today it has become a part and parcel of our life. Same with students. So as a teacher, it's a learning for me, and as students, for all of the students, it's a learning for them also. It's a new learning methodology and a new set of systems. However, I am sure in a lighter vein, I can say or joke that if 5 साल का बाद फिर COVID Corona आएगा, we won't fear for that because we are already trained for that. We are already accustomed to that. That's a joke. That's an humorous way. But nonetheless, it's a challenge for all of us. New system, new methodology, even for examination. Till date, there was no examination. I think 2 days ago, the IIT JE took place. I'm sure Professor Subhrabrata sir can throw some light on it also, right? Many universities, many colleges, I am in a system which is par with IIT, so we don't have any problem infrastructure-wise, monetarily, otherwise also. We are conducting classes online, taking examination. Students are admitted for this batch, they have started the class, but many colleges, degree colleges, subset district headquarters, say in Purulia, in Bakura, in Bastar, in Northeast also many parts where there is lack of 4G, etc. And how the students will attend the classes. Let us be more practical on it.
Yeah, that is the
We will
practical points.
We'll discuss in detail as and when the discussion will continue. But however, I will just try to put forward my point, my experience, and I'm sure the way Professor Choudhury has rightly pointed out, a son of a soil, I belong to Odisha, rural Odisha particularly, born and brought up in Koraput district, which is close to Kalahandi, one of the most backward region, studied in Kalahandi up to graduation, +3. Then I came to JNU for a master's, MPhil, and PhD. So my routing is somewhere very backward region, and I can feel the thrill when Professor Choudhury says about Barak Valley, about Gurucharan College, about Silchar. The Silchar is a city right now, but nonetheless, the level of education, backwardness, people's aspirations, strive to go for excellence, to know something, to be part of the mainstream knowledge system. There's a lot of challenges for all of us, and I'm sure from various background, different orientations, your subject, discipline, etc. All of us can discuss something, throw some light on this topic, and mutually help each other for learning and addressing those burning concerns. With this, let me thank Swarupaji who has made me a part of the system of Gurucharan College. And I'm sure once the pandemic is over, if Professor Bibhas Deb sir allows me, I will pay a small visit to your campus for a day or two. We'll be with you and learn something from with you. So with this hope and expectations, let me thanks all of you. Over to Swarupaji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your encouraging words.
Thank
And
you.
here we come to the end of this formal inaugural session. We are just on the verge of the starting, about to start the first technical session. For that, I am calling my our student, 5th semester honors student, Sahili Choudhury, to introduce Parida sir, because Parida sir is the speaker of our first session.
To introduce Parida sir, because Parida sir is the speaker. Please bear with us, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
Aswini?
Personality like Dr. Pradeep Kumar Parida sir, key policy at Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Petroleum Technology, an institute of national importance established by Government of India. He has done his MA, MPhil and PhD from JNU, New Delhi. Apart from scholarship Sorry for the interruption, sir. Again, good morning, everyone. It's my privilege to introduce such a wonderful personality like Dr. Pradeep Kumar Parida, sir. He is the Associate Professor in Public Policy at Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Petroleum Technology, an institute of national importance established by the Government of India. He has done his MA, MPhil, and PhD from JNU, New Delhi. Apart from being a scholar in political science, he has also gone for postgraduation in journalism and mass communication. During his studenthood, he was awarded National Scholarship at college level from MHRD, Government of India, Merit cum means of scholarship from JNU, Fellowship for PhD from Government of India. He was also winner of Vice Chancellor Cup in debate competition at university level. He has a wide experience in different fields of teaching and research programs across the nation. His major areas of interest and thrust are primarily in the domain of public policy and governance, rural development, plans, policies and institutions, development, displacement and rehabilitation, community-based disaster management, tribal development, entrepreneurship development with focus on social entrepreneurship in India, and human rights. So far as research and academic activities are concerned, he has attended as a host of national and international seminars, conferences as well as training programs. At the same time, a number of training programs have also been organized by him. He has also a wide experience of research guidance and produced a number of MPhil and PhD scholars. Besides, a good number of UGC major projects were also undertaken by him. Professor Parida has been entrusted with special responsibility of writing reports on at least 10 policies of different ministries under Government of India. Dr. Parida has to his credit a host of research articles in different national as well as international peer-reviewed journals of repute and contributed at least 12 chapters in 12 edited books. Besides having contributed in different conference proceedings, he is also sole author of a number of good books, while some are in the process of publication. Doctor Parida has also the privilege of membership in prestigious Indian Institute of Public Administration, Indian Political Science Association, Indian Association of Political Economy. He has also the distinction of working experience with NDMA, National Social Watch on Governance, a number of reputed universities across the nation, as also with the UPSC. Thank you.
Should I start right now, sir?
Yes.
Okay. My heartiest regards to Professor Bibhas Deb, Honorable Principal of Guru Sharan College, my esteemed colleague, Professor
Just a minute,
Swarupa
sir.
Bhattacharjee, who has
Just a
made me a
minute, sir.
part. Please.
Thank you, sir. Actually, I would like to thank Saheli and before going, just interrupting. We in this session, we are having one of our brightest students, Gyanendra Das, to act as a reporter of the session. Gyanendra, it's okay. Are you ready? Okay. Thank you. Over to Parida, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Swarupa. My heartiest regards to Professor Bibhas Deb, Honorable Principal Guru Charan College, such an prestigious academic institution in the Northeast, at least in Assam and Barak Valley. My esteemed colleague from Political Science Department of Guru Charan College. And so also, I can't recall all the names because Swarupaji was moving in little bit speed and told so many names from other departments and IQAC and many other people who have helped them for organizing such a beautiful, at least the topic is brilliant. We have to ponder over it. And I'm sure the way Surupa madam's student described me, I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortableness. It's a little bit really uneasy because if I look back my history as a student, then as a teacher, I feel I'm nowhere in the picture. I'm nothing in front of such stalwart personalities like Professor Bibhas Deb or Professor Subhrabrata. Because roughly, if I can guess from their age and experience, the way they were speaking, just for even for 5 minutes, it seems roughly three and a half decades. Teaching for 3 decades is not a matter of joke. Lot of learning, lot of experience, lot of exposure. I'm a child in front of them. However, I'm asked by Dr. Swarupa to throw some light on this topic, but I will I'll focus on new education policy. But because the topic is challenges to higher education pandemic, I'll start with that. But believe me, I'm more prepared for new education policy as far as today's discussion is concerned. Because if you look into new education policy document, there's a couple of chapters. One chapter is totally devoted to higher education, and I will focus on that. But to begin with, on the topic, challenges to higher education in COVID times. As all of us know, experienced, and right now feeling also, the way COVID has affected all of us in an unprecedented manner, which has never been witnessed by none of us, even our forefathers. I mean, we have read in books, there was Bengal famine, there was petition, migration of people from various parts, from Indian side to Pakistan, from Pakistan to India, and more particularly the place I belong to, Dandakaranya of Odisha, where many of you must have experienced 1971 war with Bangladesh, Pakistan versus Bangladesh, creation of a new state called Bangladesh, migration of the refugees, the way they came and settled down. More or less, in this pandemic also, we have witnessed that sort of things. Factories closed down, government was not prepared, immediate announcement, lockdown, etc., etc. People from metro cities returning to their homes barefoot, walking on the road. Forget about education, survival, existence that was in question. People died on the road, people walking on the track, railway track, train run over them. Many things happened, many things. If you look into the media reports of March, April, and May, it's really horrific. People traveling on the road by just putting their luggage in the overhead, children over the soldier, and the way they walk. It just stopped. It's not a story of a film. It's about the way things happened in partition, 1947, 1971, and people travel from one part of the world to other part and taking the pain, the sufferings, those their eyes were speaking voluminously. They were the way they were undergoing the trauma. Return to home, COVID started, then they were advised to stay as isolation. Can you tell me which village has isolation system? Separate toilet, just putting them in schools, no proper medication, and it is continuing till date. Look into the metros like Delhi, Mumbai, etc. What is happening there? But nonetheless, when we have accepted it as a part of life, we have to keep on continuing, keep on moving forward. And education system also. In that context, the topic is very much pertinent, higher education in the time of COVID. Nonetheless, if the topic would have been education in the time of COVID, it would have been more attractive, more catchy. But being an academic institution like yours, Guru Charan College, which is catering to the needs of higher education at a place called Barak Valley, Shilchar, probably it is more pertinent and more focused as we are focusing on higher education. As in the beginning introduction, I have briefly discussed about the online mode of teaching, SOP, new education policy. That is something different. New pattern of education, methodology of teaching, and I'm sure Dr. Swarupa will agree with me because right now, whenever I discuss, he is telling me I am on going to take a class online, and me also from my side, yes, I have a class after some time. But the way we're interacting with the students, virtual mode, talking to them over, mobile or computer, teaching them, it is more or less, though the subject is same, content is same, but the interaction level, the pedagogy, the understanding, one-to-one contact, which used to be in a classroom setting, is not in the online mode teaching. All of us are experiencing that. And more particularly in a place like where there is, say, for example, in an arts class, social science class, where there are 100 students, 80 students, how to have one-to-one interaction? Probably in the classroom it is possible, at least as a teacher you can control all of them, but online mode it's next to impossible. Provided or until only the student from the other side come forward and participate at the same level as it used to happen in classroom setting couple of months ago. However, we have to carry forward. We have to go on, move on for our future course of action. In that context, the institutions like IIT, IIM, NIT, or you can say the prestigious central universities, or even private universities having a lot of money in terms of their infrastructure, and from student side also, like Manipal, Amity, probably they won't face any problem in terms of online education. But the institutions like yours, or for that matter, any district headquarter college, or a college, say, as Professor Choudhury was talking about Karimganj, something like that, or even Barak Valley, even in Golpara, or many places in Assam. Can you imagine a student is attending classes online through mobile or computer? Is it practically possible for each and every student? The reason being, we have created a hierarchy in our mind regarding higher education. That is, we can spend a lot if it is engineering, medicine, law, etc. However, parents won't agree to spend a little bit more on science or social science. A BA, BSc, general college becomes something like that. However, the degree colleges are required catering to the need of students of BA, BSc, BCom. They're not IIT, they're not NIT, they're not Niger, IGER, or AIMS, or for that any government medical college. What I'm trying to argue, there is problem of infrastructure, there is problem of student side investment also, or parent side. There is need of a lot of things to address before you really go on online classes. Because as somebody has really pointed out, I think Professor Deb, the charm, the enjoyment, the loveliness, the livelihood, I mean the way you are engaged in a class, in a classroom setting, academic engagement, the innocent faces of 60 to 80 students in a class really attracts a teacher to be, not only engage them academically, otherwise also. The philosophy and reality of life, society, etc., that is getting discussed, disseminated, argued in various contexts in a classroom setting. However, when you're talking about new system of education, I mean online teaching, etc., because many of them, some of them, I won't say everybody, some of them lost their siblings, parents, family members in the pandemic also. Are they in a position to attend classes even if online? We do not have an answer to this question. The problem is, with all of us, we are not able to microscopically examine the situation at each and every part, rather than putting them in a common thread and presuming that this is the best solution to this problem. In other words, what I'm trying to argue, the situation at Cotton College Assam, or St. Stephen's College in Delhi, or Presidency College in Calcutta, or for that matter, Presidency University, or Jadavpur University, which are reasonable advance because of number of things, and even students' side also, teachers' side also, right? Probably they won't face any problem to adapt to this new methodology of teaching and this pandemic level. But many places like yours, or a place like, say, Kalahandi, Koraput, Bastar, etc., it's really it's a Herculean task to undertake classes in this new system. From student side also, as a teacher, when you take the class, you can imagine, you can make it out from the student's face and eyes whether the student has really understood the concept, clarity of thought, and the points or the topics discussed by a teacher. But in this online mode, there is hardly any scope for that. Because sometimes students hesitate to come forward and ask a question. But as a teacher, many times or on occasion, voluntarily you go forward, mix with them, interact with them. From the face itself, you can make it out or from the class note, you can make it out what he or she has understood or not. But this system of teaching or methodology of teaching has totally distanced them from us. It's basically, the student who is really coming forward, ask a question, probably you can address that question or that problem, but otherwise it's not practically possible. Regarding reading materials or books in the library, remember, as far as my view is concerned, nothing can replace a book. When you read a book, you are not only getting some idea, you are really emotionally involved with the philosopher or the teacher or the writer or the professor or the author who was written the book. Because reading the books really broadens the horizon of our knowledge, gives the logical argument put forward by the author in many ways. However, when I'm teaching on online, lack of books with students, and in a topic, hardly I can spend some materials, might be photocopies, WhatsApp, some pages, but reading of the book, the whole book, even if one chapter is necessary for you, 2 chapters in the syllabus, that is lacking. Reading habit, or reading of original books has gone down to many extent on this new system of education. In this pandemic situation. Sometimes we argue about linking general education or say BA, BSc, BCom, etc., what we are teaching in college, in the vocational education. The crucial question is, whatever you may teach, can you really practice vocational education a little bit? What about the practical aspect, which is on this online mode? I have my doubts. In other words, online mode of teaching has a number of problems. In spite of there is hardly any solution to this problem at this point of time. Similarly, when you go to a college or as a teacher or as a student, when everybody interacts with each other, many things are learned from your students, your colleagues, your teachers, many things. Everything is not hidden in the book. That space for social dialogue, communication, interaction, learning from each other, that is squeezed, or that is totally evaporated, totally dismissed in this new system of education. Otherwise, it's something mechanical way of learning through the help of machine from the teacher side to students, and if sometime probably it is happening from student side to teacher to know something if they're really curious or interested. But otherwise, the normal process of learning, teaching, the pedagogy, methodology, all are lacking today. However, we are helpless in certain point, like COVID. But as I've discussed from the very beginning, that I will keep on something on new education policy, and probably that will also helpful for us to understand the gravity of this situation, because it has been introduced very recently. And my esteemed colleagues from Gurucharan College will also among themselves discussing something, and probably we can subsequently sometime we can really focus on this and applicability of new education policy. The issues they're talking about to colleges like you and me. To begin with, if you look into the document, because the document is with me, I'm downloaded from the net, from the MHRD website, and going through it right now. Given the requirements of the 21st century, the aim of a quality university or college education must be to develop good, well-rounded, and creative individual. It must enable an individual to study one or more specialized courses of interest at a deeper level, while at the same time build character, ethical, constitutional values, intellectual curiosity, scientific temper, creativity, spirit of service, and 21st century capabilities across a range of disciplines, including science, social science, arts, humanities, language, as well as professional, technical, and vocational crafts. A quality higher education must enable personal accomplishment, enlightenment, constructive public engagement, productive contribution to society. It must prepare students for more meaningful and satisfying lives and work roles and enable economic independence. Hence, quality university and college education must therefore aim to both a joy and opportunity to which all citizens must have access if they so desire. In other words, at the level of society, the aim of higher education must be to enable the development of an enlightened, socially conscious, knowledgeable, skilled nation that can uplift its people and construct and implement a robust solution to its own problem. Look at the language they have written about, beautifully drafted, and they're talking about new education policy where the role of educational institutions will be something different as a catalyst to create really true, skilled, resourceful manpower for this country, right? If you look into higher education in that context, the main thrust of this policy in higher education is to end fragmentation of higher education by transforming higher education institutions into large multidisciplinary universities, colleges, clusters. Each of will have to have 3,000 or more students. This will this would help build vibrant communities of scholars and peers, break down harmful silos, enable students to become well-rounded across discipline. I mean, it's not compartmentalization of science, social science, commerce, about creativity, about your talent, about your ability, performing. All this part will be an ingrained component of comprehensive education, holistic education, the way Rabindranath Tagore talked about education. Because the fundamental question is sometimes we ask ourselves, what is the purpose of education? The purpose of education, to quote Radhakrishnan, is to create, it's about creating the scientific temperament, a beautiful heart, and which can mold the character of an individual to become a true citizen of this country. If we look into the history of Indian education-based committee, Radhakrishnan committee to begin with, Mudaliar committee, Majmudar committee, Tapas Majmudar, and many committees have given recommendations about education. And when education started in India during British era, if you look at Gandhi's concept of education, Nai Talim, basic education, all this talked about creating innovativeness, scientific temper, human approach, and an individual which will be suitable to the need of the society and the fundamental purpose of education. However, that if you look into the theoretical aspect and the practical aspect, there is a lot of deterioration, right? This education policy, new education policy, talked about moving to large multidisciplinary universities and higher education institutions cluster, and thus the highest recommendation of this policy regarding the structure of higher education. But I have a question mark here. If we look into the present education university system in the country, there are universities like, say, in Assam also, law university, technical university, medical university. My opinion, understanding is why all the universities is open each and every subject. There might be some general university like, say, Silchar University or, say, Assam University or Guwahati University, where the students of science, commerce, arts, etc. will be studying there. But nonetheless, there is absolute need of law university, medical university, engineering university, which will cater to the specific disciplines. Like, say, medical university will cater to the needs of, say, allopathy, Ayurvedic, Unani, all sort of pharmaceutical things, medical things, nursing, etc. Engineering discipline university will cater to the needs of disciplines like, say, all types of engineering like computer science, electrical, mechanical, and little bit scientific science subject also like any IITs are doing. And the social science universities are normal general universities cater to the needs of creating students and manpower for higher research in the subjects of science, social science, and commerce, etc. In other words, they should not mix up each other. Hence, I will say the need of institutions like NIJR, IJR in the context of pure science, IITs in the context of engineering, law university in the context of law, and like, say, SPA, School of Planning and Architecture in Delhi, there for planning and architecture, or for that matter, NST, National School of Drama, Film and Television Institute of Pune, FTII, they're focused on specific disciplines like theater, filmmaking. Remember, those are also equally creative disciplines of a human faculty. In other words, the universities should not teach each and everything. Rather, they should focus on the specific discipline they can, whereas this education policy is talking about creating universities in all the disciplines. That's the question I'm trying to put forward. I think my colleagues who are teaching in colleges, universities can throw some lights also in this context. For example, one point I want to argue here, that by 2040, all higher education institutions, the term they used is HEI, shall become multidisciplinary institutions and shall have students' enrollment in the thousands for optimal use of infrastructure resources. That's absolutely right. Because today, our enrollment has not gone to that level, keeping in mind the population, the number of universities has increased like anything. And in that context, private universities. For example, Assam. I'm sure Assam is also more than 10 to 12 private universities, but nobody questions about quality, recruitment, faculty who are teaching there. It's not about the subject being taught only, say journalism, mass communication, public policy, many new and interdisciplinary subjects, rural management for that matter, even management for that matter, or fashion technology, which has applied discipline, or in the sense more into the applied sector where the students can get some job. But we are talking about those departments without trained faculty, without proper faculty selection. Nobody questions that, right? The about gross enrollment ratio in higher education, which is at the moment, that includes vocational education, 26.3 in 2008. The target is to go to 50% by 2030. But I have a question. Why you are trying to target 50% by 2030? Do you think each and every person of this country should be a graduate or a postgraduate for that matter? Why not? Even if they're not a graduate or postgraduate, they have the basic life learning skills. After 10th standard or 12th standard, if they can be able to earn their livelihood by themselves, whatever the jobs or whatever they're doing, because rather than creating simple graduates of thousands, BA, BSc, become and bring them unemployable, if you can create, even if he's not a graduate, having some basic education level like 10th or 10 plus 2, but he is earning his livelihood, bread and butter, with dignified way, well, that will be a significant achievement. We can't aspire each and every student to go to IIT. We can't aspire or promise that each and every student who is doing well in biology can go to medical. Some of them will go. Some of them go to research in general science like biotechnology, botany, zoology, biodiversity, microbiology, biochemistry. Or if somebody is studying social science, he can go to anything. It be polity, be it public policy, be it governance issues, be it journalism, be it teaching profession, whatever. Rather than thinking that, without understanding the aptitude and the temperament and the ability of a student, simply many of us middle class parents are talking about, my son should go to engineering, my son should go to IIT, my son should go to medical, etc. And I'm ready to spend as much money as possible because I'm earning. Though I'm a silent person, I believe I can send my son to a private engineering college, and many of you for that matter, medical college for that matter. The medical college is becoming expensive in private sector. But the question is, did I ever thought of the process or the question, is my son is competent enough or really eligible or interested in studying engineering or medicine for that matter, or even for the social science? Because I know as a teacher in social science, the student who cannot go to anywhere, he could not do well in science, he cannot go to diploma institute, he cannot get an entrance anywhere, then he comes to arts and commerce in a normal degree college. The fundamental question to me, what he's studying in this department, be it political science, sociology, English, Assamese, something like that, and what he's doing after completing the course, BA, BSc, become whatever. Did he learn something out of it? Or for the sake of enrollment, he has come and enrolled, then got a BA degree, then he'll open a pan ka dukan, something like that. I don't mind. If somebody's PhD is opening a pan ka dukan for profession, if it is a dignified way. But PhD should not be a criteria for opening a pan ka dukan. The question is, what about the education system? What we are teaching to our students, what they're learning out of it, where they're going out after completing the courses. This is a very crucial question in front of all of us. By the way, Swarupa, till how much time I can continue? It's exactly 11 o'clock. How much time can I continue? Another half an hour? Another? Fine, thank you. So enrollment, I will suggest, I'll request that this is a crucial question. My point is, just for the sake of all the seats to be filled up, we are putting 80 students in that class. But I recall when I was undergraduate students and the general classes was to 120 students in a class, the teacher is to cry, and it was a lady teacher, because students are very mischievous in the class. 120 in a class, single class. What they're learning out of it and how the teacher can control them. It's not so, it's not a joke, because let me tell you, there is something like this new education policy about teachers training. But can you recall my colleagues, Deepanwita here, Swarupa here, what is the training given to a teacher when he joins a college? If you have MPhil or PhD or NET, you are joining a college as a teacher. But teaching in a classroom is something different from PhD research. It's a very crucial question. I think Professor Bibhas can talk about it also. We learn the art of teaching gradually as and when you experience grow further in this profession. Like a BE training to a student after passing BA, BSc, BCom, and unless you have BA, you can't be a teacher, PGT or PGT, depending upon qualification. Nowhere in college or university teaching there is some teaching profession aptitude test, except NET में थोड़ा सा होता है. In other words, if I have NET, if I have PhD, I will clear Public Service Commission or university entrance, whatever, the selection process and join. But what about my teaching methodology? What about my teaching capacity? What about my teaching aptitude? Because I have not been trained. Nobody questions it. Nobody, for example, this online teaching. For the first time in my life, I'm teaching on online basis. And for the first time in my life, I'm witnessing my students are learning online. Until unless I'm being acquainted with this system, trained to teach in this methodology, I can't master the art. And it will be always, I mean, I'll keep on teaching, but the result won't be as much effective as it would have been if in a classroom teaching. Because throughout my life, I'm 45 plus, I've learned in a classroom setting and I've been teaching in a classroom setting, in a formal classroom, physical classroom. In other words, the training of teachers in colleges and universities never happened till date. Nobody questions this, including new education policy. At least my STEM teachers can question, at least raise some points. Why not a teacher when it's about only refresher course and that is 21 days? But don't you think there is need of training when a teacher joins a college or university that how to teach in a classroom of 80 to 100 students? Because doing research and writing a paper is something different, and I'm selected as a teacher based on my API score, based on my research paper, based on my net qualification, based on my interview in that. Because here while teaching in Institute of Power with IIT, I'm feeling that students are joining classes, say after 10 plus to BTech. Somebody has done a PhD from MIT, Princeton, Harvard, right? And because he's PhD from Harvard or Princeton, that best university within 100 or 500, whatever, he got a chance in this institute. But what is about his teaching capacity, teaching skills, communication skills? And remember, students are telling it's classic failure. It is a classic failure. He's PhD from Princeton, Harvard, or Oxford, no problem about. He's coming teaching, but teaching method is something different. There's nothing to do with teaching a class 60 to 80 students, the way, the intuitive mind, raising the issues which is coming to the mind, how to address them, explaining them, controlling them, is like the way BA teachers being trained in any school before joining a school. That's not happening here. That's not happening. Unfortunately, this education policy never talked about it. This NEP also, this 2020 NEP talked about the overall higher education sector will be integrated into the one higher education system, including professional and vocational education. This policy and its approach will be equally applicable to all the higher education institutions across all current streams. Similarly, another point is said a university has only one definition worldwide, namely a multidisciplinary institutions of higher learning that offers undergraduate, graduate, PhD programs, engage in high quality teaching and research, etc., etc. Our fundamental question here. Can you equate all the universities at the same level? For example, infrastructure, funding, teachers, research quality or research infrastructure, library facilities. If it is what is available in JNU or Delhi School of Economics or in prestigious central universities, amount of funding taking place, I'm sure is not happening with the state university. And more particularly in a new state university, so on and so forth. Look into the hostels where students are staying. Look at the teachers' appointment. Number of posts are vacant. Working load is so much on the teachers who are teaching right now. Then how you are expecting in that system, and when there is 3 or 4 classes per day, then can I expect a good paper from a teacher who's taking 3 or 4 classes per day? The time he's consuming for that, preparedness, controlling classes, examination, evaluation. But many universities like JNU, for example, DU PG department, or prestigious university like BHU, Allahabad, or to certain extent Guwahati University, or Nehu for that matter in the Northeast. The good funding, good infrastructure, number of pages. I mean, many posts, at least posts are not vacant to the extent it is vacant in a state university. When everything is taken care of, you can expect good result, good research, good student enrollment. Quality students are coming, spending some time in the library, doing some research, and output is qualitatively better than any other output. In other words, we have not created the infrastructure, the background, rather than we are trying to address something without taking the practical aspect into consideration. That's my humble question to all of you, the audience today, and my esteemed teachers, colleagues. See, for example, in degree college, how many teachers are getting independence research or funding for that, something like that? How many classes you have per day or per week for that matter? Apart from teaching assignment, what are the administrative assignments, because research is very focused. It has to be in a particular settings, particular situation, mode, and need a lot of support. Otherwise, one cannot go for quality research, to be honest with you. Similarly, many things in local colleges or universities, when I say higher education, it is again fragmented. A institute like JNU or IIT is not, equal, or NIT for that matter, Niger, IJA, they're a different standard, different footing, ample funding, ample freedom to do research, whatever, class load is less. But it's not same with any state university like Guwahati University, or Kolkata University, or Jadavpur University, or Cotton University, right? And it's not same with any college like Cotton College or something like that, prestigious college, or even your Gurucharan College. Again, a college which is in subdivision headquarter, a block headquarter, or just started with very small building, hardly a couple of students, say a couple of hundred students, lack of appropriate teachers, lack of proper salary for the teacher. And how you are talking about addressing higher education problems in a single go, and probably we are presuming that the things will be taken care of automatically. I have my doubts in this issue. The reason being, the system is very complex, lot of hierarchy, and lot of solution to lot of problems in different way. There is not one single solution to this problem. Similarly, assessment of educational approaches in undergraduate education that integrate the humanities and arts with STEM. That's, I believe, these teachers who are teaching probably can address better than me. For example, evaluation system. Nowadays, it is being followed that semester system, right? CBCS, choice-based credit system. But the question is, are the colleges having enough teacher infrastructure to regularly conduct examination, bid semester system, and publish the results? Because in semester system, every day is a day of examination, continuous assessment system. When I used to be a student, there used to be annual examinations. At the end of the year, in the month of March or April, there will be examination, because examination also takes a lot of time. Question paper preparation, answer sheet, examination conduct, evaluation, result declaration. Do the college have the necessary facilities, infrastructure support, employees, supporting staff to deal with that? It's a crucial question. Nobody answers this question properly. I mean, and the new education policy talking about imaginative and flexible curriculum structure will enable creative combinations of disciplines per study and would multiply entry and exit point, thus removing currently prevalent rigid boundaries and creating new positions for life learning. I'll talk about this point also. It is argued that in graduation level, nobody has to study, no need of studying 3 years to get a BA degree. One can get a certificate for 1 year, 2 years, diploma, 3 years, BA, and if somebody wants to do research after that also, most welcome. But the question is, if for a student subject like history, political science, Assamese literature, sociology, that's after 10+2, if a person studies for 1 year, he got a certificate in sociology. Please tell me what will do with the certificate in sociology, or certificate in political science or public administration, or certificate in English literature, Assamese literature, Sanskrit and Hindi literature for that matter. Or after 2 years, if he gets a diploma in political science, or diploma in, say, history, or diploma, because it depending on if he's not studying for 3 years, he won't get a BA degree. I mean, passing that examination. So on certificate and diploma, what level of job he's going to do after that? Or is it something, if after 1 year he'll get a certificate, after 2 years he'll get a diploma, after 3 years he'll get a degree, and he'll get certificates after certificates without really a proper job at the end of the day? This is a crucial question. I mean, this idea is good that no need of studying for 3 years, but nonetheless, in social science discipline or literature, language, what they're going to do with certificate or diploma? Now, to address this question, all of my colleagues, please try to address this problem. It's about large multidisciplinary universities and colleges will facilitate the move towards high-quality arts education, flexibility in curriculum, and novel engaging course options will be for upper to students in addition to rigorous specialization subjects. My question is, for example, your college, Gurucharan College. Already the college or autonomous are flexible certain way or the other. Whether there are 5 to 7 teachers, they are into new courses, designing, new things coming, etc. Given a chance, they can have the new system because there are 5 to 7 teachers, etc. The question is, if somebody is not autonomous college, if some college doesn't have 5 to 7 faculties, only 3-4 faculties, I'm sure in your department also, if there are 3-4 faculties, how much it will be cumbersome, how much it will be really problematic designing new courses, implementing them, etc., etc. I mean, let us be practical in our approach. Theoretically, everything seems very gloomy, very rosy, very attractive. For example, departments in languages, literature, music, philosophy, Indology, art, dance, theater, education, mathematics, statistics, pure and applied science, sociology, economics. I mean, all this needed for multidisciplinary university or colleges. All these things will be open. I have my doubts. As an extracurricular activity, somebody can go for dance or music, etc. But hardly colleges, except girls' colleges, they really teach music because for music there are separate colleges. Like in Lucknow, there is a Bhattacharjee University, something like that, who is catering to the needs of music, dance, drama. For example, drama and theatre, there is Film and Television Institute at Pune and next National School of Drama in Delhi. There are branches, one in Northeast, I believe, also. What I'm trying to argue, can you put all these fruits in single basket? There will be science, there will be social science, there will be music, there will be drama, there will be engineering, there will be medical, everything under, say, for example, Silchar University. I have my doubts. Can you really implement it? Where do you get good faculties? Do you have the infrastructure? Where do you get students to teach all these papers? And even in college, how to address it? Because each college is not Cotton College. Each college is not Presidency University, Presidency College for that matter. Or for that matter, in a block headquarter college, that college hardly an aspiration to be Guru Charan College also. Being a college having 40, 50 years of experience, probably you have certain strengths also, right? Which is not in other colleges. The point I'm trying to argue here is about, see, one is making a policy. The second is how really practically it can be implementable. For example, it is said in this new education policy that the students will get, as I've discussed, that, certificate, diploma, bachelor's, and there is a 4 years bachelor's course also, where the student will go for research. But remember, colleges are meant for teaching, not for research at this moment. The universities are meant for teaching as well as research. And the institutions like Niger, IIT, teaching, research, plus advanced research, special research, or institute like Institute of Physics in Bhubaneswar, Institute of Chemical Technology in Hyderabad, or Institute of Mathematics, ISA, Indian Statistical Institute in Calcutta, having branches all over India, 4 or 5 branches. They are specialized institutions catering to go for further research, deep research, get manpower in that particular domain, right? So a bachelor's, 4 years bachelor's from ISI, definitely bachelor of mathematics and bachelor of statistics will definitely give a good advantage, leverage in terms of a job. But I'm sure 4-year degree BS in mathematics from Guru Charan College may not give you a job of that level, which is an Indian Statistical Institute Bachelor of Statistics and Mathematics will give you a job. Or for that matter, BA 4 years, political science, where the person will end up at the end of the day. And by the way, suppose he's going for 4 years research program after 3 years, 1 year research. How will do the research in college level? Do you have that sort of infrastructure in terms of library, in terms of teachers also, very senior teacher who can really guide them? If some colleges have, I believe, like yours, probably you are in advantageous position, but not all the colleges. Because in college, there was a time when recruitment taking place only simple master's degree and net. A person having MA and net, or MPhil for that matter, or suppose in the department hardly there is PhD 1 or 2, how a student, suppose that 20 students went for this BA political science 4th year research program, what they'll do after 3 years, what type of research, and are they going to get some stipend or fellowship or sort of incentive for that, or they'll go for 2 years master's program after 3 years? And there is no compartmentalization. It's not been done properly. Only it is argued every institution will be multidisciplinary. By the way, remember, IITs are never meant for research in social science or arts. It is purely engineering, partly science, nowadays little bit social science. And that is more into economics, English literature. For example, no IIT has history or political science as a subject. They have philosophy, they have economics, they have sociology, they have psychology, something. They don't have anthropology for that matter. But the question is, when you make it more interdisciplinary, do they have necessary support system, infrastructure, faculty? I mean, all these things. They do have good funding, by the way, IITs. At the same time, when I say infrastructure funding, about fees. See, for example, the institute I am teaching at par with IIT, the fees per semester for a BTech student is 50,000, apart from hostel, etc., etc. Can you tell me, a student who is taking admission in, say, Guru Charan College, who is ready to 50,000 per semester to get all this infrastructure? Never. I have my doubts. No parents will spend 50,000 per annum, forget about a semester, for a student who is studying BA political science, sociology, or BSc, normal mathematics, or physics or chemistry. I mean, we have created a world where there is compartmentalization. Because I know if my son is studying engineering and medical, at the end of the day, we'll have good package, good salary, I'll be happy, my son went to IIT, my status increased in my society. And when I say, my son is studying in Gurucharan College, BA History, Political Sociology, or Economics for that matter, oh, आपका बेटा आर्ट्स पढ़ रहा है, आपका बेटी, BA पढ़ रहा है. But the question is, nobody tries to understand the potential of the child. Who knows? He might be another Plato or Aristotle or Ambedkar or Amartya Sen. I don't want that. I want my son to go to IIT or NIT, or after that, go to IIM, have a good MBA degree and join some corporate sector. But by the way, do you think IIMs are the institute catering to the need of management graduates? They never talk about history, social science or engineering also. The maximum students are engineering students in IIM. In other words, we have created institutions for particular specific purpose, and they're going probably in a direction. I think better also one can argue that they're doing well. Say IIM Shillong. IIM Shillong is doing good in terms of management. But I can expect a good English teacher or good philosophy teacher or good sociology teacher or good research in sociology at IIM Shillong, because the need of the institution is something different. And new education policy never talked about this. Then about curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, student support, with a fundamental aspect of any teaching institutions. For example, the institutions like ours versus yours, a lot of differences. Number of teachers are there, number of supporting staff. But for example, where you are teaching, if you look into first year, second year, third year, total BA students will be 300, 400 persons, continuous assessment, continuous, curriculum changes. New options, something like that, new optionals, new papers, it is practically possible. Continuous examination for that matter. For example, in IIT or IIM, with the trimester system, every 15 days or in a month, you can take an examination, but not in a degree college. Because the workload is so much, how can you take it, by the way? And how are the students are prepared to go for that sort of examinations? Continuous assessment? Theoretically, yes. Practically, I have my doubts. It's not a question about criticizing the education policy per se. It's about examining the existing system and where does this new education policy, fit into that. One point they talked about internationalization. I have a question. Why every education institution should be internationalization? Go for international brand name, MOU, etc. Don't you think if Gurucharan College can address the needs of that locality, Barrack Valley, science persons can talk about flora, fauna, soil, climate, etc. Social science persons about culture, history, polity, economy, development dynamics, what are the problems, how to address this, be it rural development, be it participation, be it the students' movement, or be it ethnic movement. I believe in social science from the multidisciplinary angle, we can discuss about it at the college level, university level, etc. No need of necessarily going to having MOU with the American University, London, Cambridge. What is the fun of doing that? This is my personal question. Don't you think, in a serious note, some of us or some of you really, gather some fund and do a breathtaking, a little bit painful, in fact, a lot of initiative you have to go for that. Don't you think your research will be also qualitatively output, which is having substantial, immense value in the academic world? Why one should go for internationalization? About student participation, one question which has been, because stakeholders, the education system are the teachers, students, parents, society, outside, etc. All right. When I look into education system right now, it is primarily between teachers, students, partly parents also, right? But the question is, how really do you think in colleges like yours, or for that matter in degree college, students participate in governance system? I have my doubts. Because we presume students are students. In IIT, IIM, there is students representative in the curriculum designing level, in Senate, etc., but not in colleges, not in the governing process of a college, be it academics, be it otherwise. We normally ask them, because they are at the end of they are the persons who are receiving at the receiving end, but they are not encouraged to participate because about maturity, about number of things, about political involvement, and many other things also. A local college level thing is something different than a university. And a local, as a state university is different than a central university. And within the central university system also, a prestigious central university like JNU, DU, something, BHU, Allahabad, that is something different from a new central university. For example, new central universities are facing a lot of problem in terms of the new building has not come out, infrastructure, lack of appointment, many things are there, many problems are there. How you are going to address all these problems in all these places as I've discussed in the same time? So when you say higher education institutions, of course, the meaning thereby talking about creating sort of new things, new institutions with lot of vibrancy, lot of infrastructure, all these things. For example, once students participate in that contest, it is argued vibrant campus life is essential for high quality teaching learning process. Towards this end, students would be involved in activity club like sports, cultural, drama, community services, all these things. But don't you think right now all students are doing that? You have NSS, you have NCC, you have Red Cross, you have eco club in colleges also. Drama clubs, you have a lot of things. But the question is the level of participation that has to be increased. Students has to be encouraged. They must be motivated. And many students who have other qualities apart from being a student, like somebody is good in theater, somebody might be singing, who knows? If they are really given that promotion, encourage, that talent of that person might be prosper properly, and he might be another Bhupen Hazarika. Who knows? He might be another, Janu Barua. Who knows? The point I'm trying to argue that the freedom, the flexibility, the mobility, and the encouragement, the innovativeness that is lacking in our education system. Probably new education system and policy try to address that, but we have to create that sort of aura, that environment, the temperament. Then only things can be taken care of. Otherwise, it may not be possible practically. Then about motivated, energized, capable faculty. Remember, in education system, the two most important pillars. One is students, other is teachers. And they need a proper platform. When I say motivated, energized, capable faculty, look at the recruitment system today. Do the really talented people are coming to teaching profession fast thing? Is it transparent? Is it honest? Are the most efficient persons are getting teaching positions in the university or colleges for that matter? If that is so, what about salary? What about infrastructure support to them? What about postings? Many times it happens, these are taking place because of certain affiliation. I'm not questioning it, but I can presume personally by political interference, might be many other things, nepotism, corruption, etc., etc. As a result of which, even if somebody is a very good teacher, has been posted somewhere, he's not at all encouraged to teach. In other words, his posting became a discouragement for him for going for regular teaching. And many times they're teaching just because they're doing the salary. The encouragement, the motivation, the self-satisfaction, this should have come from within to be a teacher in a teaching, be it college or university, even if departmental politics, institutional politics, or dynamics, you can say, university level things, that sometimes discourages a teacher to go for either teaching or research, etc., etc. Because to be honest with you, somewhere down the line, one can feel that university or colleges, particularly universities, becoming den of politics, and partly college also. Though not necessarily every college is same, not necessarily every department or every colleges there is acute politics. But the point is, are you giving freedom, autonomy, independence, encouragement, creativity of a teacher to teach a subject in a college or a university, or for that matter in education institutions? It depends on a lot of factors. There are a lot of buts and ifs are there. It's easy to say, motivated teacher. Remember, the 7th Pay Commission has given, truly speaking, has given due recognition in terms of salary. But before that, what was the salary of a teacher? To certain extent, 6th Pay Commission also. But before that, what are the salary of a teacher? And by the way, Abhibi, till now, what is the salary of a teacher who is in ad hoc position or in contractual position? What about their future stability? Are they going to be observed permanently in the college? And if not, what they'll do? What is the qualification? All these things. The teachers' recruitment has become one of the bone of contention as far as higher education system is concerned. And for that matter, higher education policy. It's easy to say motivated, energized, capable faculty. There is no doubt of PhDs or the people who are interested for teaching position. But really getting a motivated, energized teacher for a college or university is a Herculean task in this particular point of time, because all of us are interested to go for big institutions, IIT, Niger, IGER, reason being they're giving good salary, good funding for research, good infrastructure, or sometimes freedom also. But these are dream, these are luxury, these are simply a matter of paper. It can never be. It's not practically so much possible in colleges like degree colleges and district headquarters, etc. But nonetheless, we have to go for further. Proceed further. Then about digital enabled classroom. It is practically possible in colleges like yours that there should be always digital, enabled classroom. I have my doubts, because there is lack of infrastructure, lack of funding, I mean, it is possible in certain classes like computer science classes or mathematics, right? But digitally enabled classes in others, I mean, social science, commerce, I mean, I don't know where to proceed further. Then about teacher-student ratio, it's talked about 1:10 to 1:20, depending on the program, etc. But look at the number of teachers in colleges and number of students in colleges. Due to lack of recruitment, there is hardly, any regular teacher in colleges or universities nowadays. Depends on particular situation. Though central universities and IITs are a little bit ahead, but regular degree colleges or private colleges are the most sufferer in this context. In other words, new education policy, theoretically, you can say, having trying to address many things at the same time, but in terms of practical reality implementation, it might create some problem. I believe the practicalness of its approach is lacking somewhere. So that's my really humble concern, is a serious concern, and my humble request to my esteemed colleague to ponder over it, look into it, discuss among ourselves. And really, this pandemic situation is a serious challenge to all of us. I'm sure we'll overcome one day. I'm ending here by saying, Hum honge kamyab ek din. Thank you so much. Over to Swarupa ji. Swarupa ji? Swarupa ji? Swarupa ji? Yeah. It's 11:30. I'm stopping it here right now. Swarupa ji, I'm not able to hear you properly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your beautiful, inspirational, illuminating deliberation. So, if sir, if you want, if you have something more to say, you can continue, sir. And another 10 minutes we can provide you.
Can I get a break for 1 minute, please? Let me have a glass of water. Then
Sure, sir. Sure. Sarasha nahi neki.
Yeah, to Swarupa, I'm back, right?
Okay, thank you, sir. Would you like to continue?
Yeah, for 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Maximum 10 minutes. Sir,
So
actually, what I feel, sir, we feel, sir, sir, we have touched different aspects of the topic. What policy can be taken, sir, for providing more? I mean, for reaching to more students under this in the context of this pandemic situation. Please highlight.
yeah. To be precise and honest with all of you, really we have faced a situation which has never happened in the history of human civilization, at least in last 100 years, right? And it's a learning, life learning for all of us. हम लोग इससे लाइफ के लिए सीख रहे हैं.
हाँ
Reason
सर,
being,
definitely,
पहली बार
definitely.
पहली बार हमको ऑनलाइन में क्लास लेना पड़ा. पहली बार एग्जाम एक्सटेंड होते I mean the exam which normally used to happen in March, April, something like that, happening in August, September, right? August, something like that. Academic session has increased. I mean, it is deferred actually. Day to start, piche chala gaya, right? The only option before us right now, because we can't go for physical gathering, that is one aspect, right? The only one aspect we can take it online too. But if there is possibility of having some classes sometime, say for example, students doesn't have books right now. They can't come to the meet personally. But if at all there is some possibility of giving them books physically or online also, some chapters, photocopies, WhatsApp messages, etc. Right? At least the academic engagement will continue. Students won't sit idle at home because first thing, idle minds is devil's workshop. Second thing, once they are not touch with the subject or books, they will gradually forget what is being taught to them. To maintain that continuity, at least if they're sending regularly to them, they're reading something, I'm sure many of them may not read also, but constantly engaging them, asking them. And I believe it's really Herculean task for teachers like you and me, because as I've said, everybody suppose in a class there are 60 students. I can't ask 60 students whether they've understood or not this point, this topic. But in a class, even from the eyes or face of the person, you can make it out. Because उसका समझ में आया नहीं है. अभी वो नहीं हो पाएगा. Until unless you ask, pro mobile or send a mail, get some response from him. This is really a great challenge for all of us because we have not been acquainted with this until unless we have done some course on online. Because
yes, sir, we are exactly the same thing we are also experiencing. For example, in the fourth semester, we are having 460 students in past course. In fourth semester, it's only. So we created WhatsApp group, and so far I remember, we could incorporate maximum 7 students. That means almost just 55% students. Rest of the 45% students we could not reach, sir. So whatever thing we are doing, definitely for the good of the student, but we are failing to reach each and every students who are really facing problems, sir. Economically, they are very very poor. Whatever income is, they are facing a tremendous economic problem. If 200 rupees they are getting, they are spending it for their daily
survival.
I mean, for just having their meals, they are spending that money for having their meals. How can they spend it for respect? Then our network issue is there, load shedding is there, everything. We are on the verge of a huge problem. So
that's what I'm also feeling. I mean, it is easy to say you conduct online classes, but when, say, for example, in my class in MBA level, hardly 30, 40 students. So it's something different. And a student was studying MBA, ready to spend money because after spending 5-6 lakhs rupees in MBA, he's at least assured he'll get a job something or the other, jahan par usko 25-30 hazar mil jayega, right? So for getting that, he's ready to spend right now. But undergraduate student in a college like history, politics, ready to spend that much.
Rather, a rural Boragari is a typically rural area in comparison with the other areas of the country. So here, and the college level, maximum students come from the rural backgrounds, remote areas also, who cannot be reached nowadays. They are separated from us. We are separated from us. This is the problem.
I can understand. One thing I can understand.
It's a common problem all over the country.
Yes, at least the district headquarter colleges and rural area colleges and tribal colleges. That's what I was talking about. The colleges in Bastar, in Jharkhand, in Kalahandi, in tribal area of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, more or less the same problem. It's not about Assam only. because everywhere, as you know, a rural part, a tribal part, people are struggling for survival. Many of them do not have a mobile, Android mobile particularly, and a normal
Exactly,
mobile they
exactly.
can't in the classes, right? Second thing, number of students in papers, which are very common papers like history, political science, English literature, that there will be hundreds of students. As a teacher, it's not practically possible to address each and every student's problem until unless the students come for and ask you, madam, mujhe samajh mein nahi hai. Madam,
Yes.
please come again. It's really, really practical problem, right? And here only one thing is possible, that you have to be sympathetic. We have to be more human in our approach and try to give as much as possible, even through online or offline, if there is some possibility. Some materials, some books, some chapters from various texts, even WhatsApp, photocopy, whatever. Because otherwise, gradually, remember, it's my personal hunch and my expectations. I'm not sure whether I'm that much negative or really positive. If this will continue for a long time, time will come when the students will come to the class, will find he has forgotten everything what you taught in political science.
Yeah.
Because teaching is a continuous process. Teaching and learning, you are teaching, and the continuous process is getting break. When there is a break, it has to again, rejoin it. Otherwise, it will continue like that. And it's unfortunate, very, very problematic. One thing I believe, EDC should come forward this point of time. Every college, at least district headquarter college, should be, coordinated with or something linked with the broadband facilities, etc., where really, I mean, it's again Herculean task. The telecom department, UJC, that having a linkages, all the district headquarter college. Like, say, for example, Barrett Valley, let it be your Gulsaran College, lead college, where autonomous colleges. By the way, it's not possible to link each and every colleges in block headquarters. That's practical problem also. But जहाँ पर हो सकता है, जहाँ पर possible है, right? There, this will be certain infrastructure facilities, computer facilities, internet facilities, and where at least some of the students, even if out of 400, I am not be optimistic that 400 to 400 लोग आ जाएंगे. Those लोग minimum जहाँ 50% they can at least link with them, talk to them on day-to-day basis, and common platform, video link, YouTube, something like that, where it will be constant academic engagement. Otherwise, I am fearing. Believe me, I am fearing. That's the point I say. IIT, NITER, IJA, IIM, NIT, there's something different. Central University is something different. State universities like Cotton University, Goa University, or Social University, that's something different. And colleges like Presidency College, Cotton College, and St. Stephen's College, Lady Freedom College, there's something different. But colleges like yours, district headquarter college, even if old college, Purana College, I have just when the infrastructure is good, couple of departments, glorious history. Professor Devabrata was talking about that once upon a time, say 30 to 40 years ago, there was high demand. It was a beacon of light, source of empowerment. As far as Barrack Valley is concerned, your college, definitely, I'm sure everybody will be having positive and respectful image about your college, but nonetheless, this is a challenge for all of us. You as a
Definitely,
teacher,
it's a
me
challenge.
as a teacher, even the students and young colleagues also. Young
Yes.
colleagues also. So I'm sure young colleagues like Devasi's, Gyanendra, your student, they're a little bit more acquainted with mobile and internet than you and me, because we become realizes they are pretty young, at least, and we are better than our father's generation, something like that. But still, then there is a
Definitely.
serious problem. You have to
Definitely.
address it. And not only you, me personally, but we as community, teaching community, institution, your college as an institution, ETC as a granting authority, whatever, and the government, state government also, or even tie up with this Vodafone, Idea, Geo, that can you just create something for this timing to address this pandemic? I mean, very cheap rate में बच्चों का साथ थोड़ा सा 2G, 3G, 4G connection हो सकता है क्या? Because this is only for education purpose. Creating education app, education that systems or WhatsApp group. I mean, YouTube channels, whatever the help you can take. Because see, in rural area also people having जिसका पास mobile है, they're using mobile for different purpose. गाना सुनना, बात करना, YouTube से they're downloading many things, but hardly had the computer mobile is particularly used for education purpose. If they can be little bit trained, motivated, advised by the time we can utilize this mobile for education purpose. If at
डेफिनेटली
all
सर,
you are
डेफिनेटली
that
यही
is the
प्रॉब्लम
only
है. अनटिल एंड अनलेस हम लोग के बच्चों को नहीं देते थे मोबाइल, क्योंकि मोबाइल में पढ़ने में वो हिंड्रेंस क्रिएट करता है. अभी हम लोग अपने आप खुद उनको दे रहे हैं, मोबाइल वे मोबाइल से पढ़ो. लेकिन हाउ फार इट इज
Practically.
properly used, you have to monitor also as guardians. That's the problem. But the problem lies with that we are educated. Okay, we can guide our children also, But what about the rural students? What about the students who are reside in the remotest corner of the country? What about the students whose parents and grandparents didn't have the education, basic education? So this is the problem we are facing now. So I'm thanking you, sir, once again, and our esteemed colleague Devashish Sharma will brief you, sir, about the different questions that have been sent by our participants from across the country. Over to Devashish, please.
Fine.
Thank you, madam. And thanks a lot to Dr. Pradeep Kumar Parida for the wonderful deliberation. It's an honor for us on behalf of IQAC Gurucharan College. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Pradeep Kumar Parida for joining us for this national webinar. And we have got to learn a lot of things from you, sir. And we also have a number of questions here. But before that, I would also like to add some more comments. Whenever we talk about these online classes and all in the COVID scenario, of course, there were online courses even before COVID also. IITs also did provide lots of online courses and all. But in the COVID scenario, this has become a household term nowadays, because many of the schools and colleges, they're going for this, particularly the private schools and all. But one thing which we all will agree, that network is a very difficult and very unpredictable thing. Even just in the morning, just before this webinar began, I was in a very nervous condition, because suddenly my laptop stopped working. So just after I opened the StreamYard, I saw that it's not working, and I had to switch to a different system, another desktop in my department immediately. So thank God I had that extra system, and I could begin this webinar. So later on, the laptop started working. So it's quite unpredictable. So this is obviously one big problem that online education faces. And of course, in most of the families, it's not easy to provide multiple systems to the students to take care of these unpredictable situations. So with that, of course, there are some problems. So let us take some questions, sir. Here is a question. This is I'll just flash the question on screen. I hope you can see. This is a question from Shakib Choudhury. For safety and health professionals with global responsibilities, what are your recommendations for students? I'm not clear with what he means to say. Probably you can, yeah.
I would request that you can club all the questions. If there are 3-4 questions, then I can respond to that. Please.
Another, there is a comment from Vijay Kumar Mallik. Funding enough to higher education will solve every problem. So is that true or not? Will it solve? Is funding the only thing that is required?
Couple of other questions, at least 3-4 questions.
And yeah, another question from Sudesh Nakar. Big private universities are providing good facilities through online classes because they have big amounts of funding, but we the students from small town are not being able to get that. So this is also one big issue. Another question I think we have. Yeah. This is from Mr. Gunakar Das. Sir, do you think that new education policy is centralizing to urban and metro cities? Is it not totally neglecting village area? How much government is planning for education?
So Devashish Babu, can I respond right now?
Yeah. There are no more as such now. Yeah.
Okay, fine. There are 4 questions. However, there are some answers with the questions also. The question number 3 was the answer to question number 2, if I'm not wrong to say so, and then explain it also. The second question was about funding to the higher to the institutions, colleges, universities, etc. Third question was, because of funding only, private universities doing better in terms of networking with students, talking to them, or in touch with students, etc. Is a fact. Because as we have repeatedly argued in this discussion till this point of time, online education is relatively new for many of us who are in vernacular medium from a school or college in rural area, district headquarters, etc. So Devasis Babu was rightly pointed out that IIT has started, IIMs moved, but that is a very recent phenomenon, the last 5 to 7 years, to be more precise. And that is only for working professionals with a hefty amount of fees. Look at the fees also, right? And both sides are competent infrastructure and otherwise, both from the teaching side, the teachers, institute, and from the student side, working professional, the assistant manager somewhere, some IIT, and working in TCS, Infosys, want to do some online course, etc., etc. So there is a parity. Platform is something like an even standard. I mean, both the sides of the education, the teacher side or the institution side and the student side are in the more or less same platform. We need to spend the money. There is infrastructure facilities. They're getting something from the institute like IIT, IIM because they have online MBA program, online diploma program, certificate program, etc. But we are in different world because the world is divided into various pages, various stages, various systems like that. Like your institute. So, for example, I am teaching at RGIPT. I don't have any problem in online classes, but I am facing some moral problem. Moral problem, ethical problem. What is that? While teaching, I found some of the students just on it, say their mobile because it is linked to the that system. 1.5 घंटा क्लास लेता हूँ. When I ask question, they won't respond. The 1.5 घंटा खत्म हो जाता है. Just suppose Deepanwita is a student asks, Deepanwita, can you explain what I was talking about? They respond, sir, there was some network problem. That's why I could not hear you.
Yeah, that happens.
So when I ask, then why didn't you ask me question? नहीं सर मैं पूछना चाहता था लेकिन मेरा मोबाइल में प्रॉब्लम था इसलिए पूछ नहीं पाया. I mean, see, there's ethical problem. So, suppose I have 30 students. Do you think for Deepanwita only again I'm going to repeat the whole chapter, something like that? I'm going to the next chapter. But Deepanwita is leaving behind another chapter. I mean, this is not from my side; it's from student side also. And they think I can at the same time. Suppose Gyanendra has some problem. He's asked me in a formal class, and I'm addressing the curiosity of Gyanendra. It is not to everybody. I can make it out from the who's putting down, who's not, etc. बट अभी जो ऑनलाइन क्लास में बच्चा सो रहा है, खा रहा है, पी रहा है, मुझे पता समझ में नहीं आ रहा
And interestingly, sir, there is a very modern way to bunk the classes just by muting audio and video.
And even if in the normal class, I can make it out who is noting down, who is not, etc. अभी क्या हो रहा है? If suppose in this class, Devasis, Swarupa, Gyanendra are students. If any one of them makes a note, it is getting everybody circulated to all of them.
Yeah.
So where I am heading towards? That's the question there was this Babu. I should not compare myself with each and every IIT, every IIM. And because third question there was because in first, for example, you have Kaziranga University, some other university in Guwahati, etc. And I'm told some of the universities are doing well because students are paying 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 per semester depending upon the course syllabus like that. Like the catchy courses are BBA, journalism, communication, MBA, BTech, all this, BSc IT, BCA, etc. But do you think that 50,000 father is going to spend for the child if he's studying BSc mathematics, BA political science, BA economics honors, BA English literature? These crucial questions from both the sides. So until there is heavy funding in the sense infrastructure creation and a system where everybody is integrated from the student side, from the teacher side also. There will be, right? Probably we can learn and teach something like that. It will take some time, I believe. So this nice, this is Abida Begum. Thank you, Abida. Thank you.
Yeah.
First question was regarding health professional something. Even Devasis Babu, to honest with the question was not clear to me, but what I can guess from the question.
Yeah, even it was not clear to me.
It's okay. He was asking about pandemic, when emerging health problems, etc. And how do you look about education system in that? How to go forward. That was the point. Of course, life is precious. Devasis Babu, I'm sure if I'm alive, I can get n number of degrees. I can forgo n number of degrees. Depends on my interest, my hard work, etc. First is I have to live in this world. And pandemic is such a situation, nobody knows. आपको हो जाएगा तो मुझे कब हो जाएगा कब मैं I mean nobody, even doctors are passing out with these diseases by the way, though you have limited resistance power, but nonetheless the protection of your safety, your health is prime importance at this point of time. Whatever you will do with certain precautions, whatever the steps you will take. So but see, for example, I am staying in Amity Raebareli. Believe me, touchwood I'm speaking, there is no social distancing. our honorable DM is affected by COVID also. Like
Yeah.
कुछ दिन पहले honorable Home Minister was affected by COVID.
I too suffered from COVID 2 months back.
So COVID is not making any discrimination against Devasis Babu ki Swarupa ji, right? So today it is Devasis Babu, tomorrow it might be Swarupa ji, day after tomorrow I might be. Right?
Definitely. No
It is
discrimination.
it is playing the game in the equal playing field. Provide if I am little bit concerned, cautious, protective, I can protect myself. Hence the question is, but that does not necessarily entitle to you to argue, I won't go for education. We have to have education also, because otherwise session will delay. As you know, अभी भी हमको कोई charm नहीं मिल रहा है पढ़ाने में, बच्चे समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं. But still then we have to continue the education, because otherwise session will go lost. And for example, many of you see somebody is talking about private schools. Do you know private colleges? They are right now reduced the salary of the teachers.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
and so.
yeah.
Five
Yeah,
teachers. Nobody talks about all these things.
Yeah, even my sister, she's also
Yes,
working
yes,
in
yes.
a private university. She,
Yes.
she also faces the
Very
same thing.
condemnable. Very condemnable.
And workload आप बनाइए, उनको भेजिए बच्चों को WhatsApp में, evaluate every paper, उनको क्लास लेने में, documents बनाने में सारा दिन चला जाता है.
Yeah.
How much cumbersome process. These are the real practical problems before all of us. Saying one thing that London में होता है, IIT खड़गपुर में होता है. By the way, IIT खड़गपुर is not equal to Guru Charan College Silchar. IIT खड़गपुर is not equal to a college in say Dhimaji, a college in say Golpara, or a college in say somewhere in North Assam, or Dibrugarh somewhere. I mean, it's something different from Dibrugarh town or Dibrugarh University, but otherwise, the point, or Lakhimpur for that matter. Look at the places, and Assam, particularly this time. Rain, heavy flood, communication totally distracted, depressed. Many people are. I think Assam
we are flooded with natural calamities.
Calamity, landslides, everything, and along with them, जैसे खाना खाने के साथ भात, दाल, सब्जी, खटा, तो अचार, then पापड़ आता है, then खीरी आता है. Similarly, पहले तो बाढ़ आएगा, फिर फ्लड, I mean landslide आएगा, उनका साथ भाई बंधु बनकर कोरोना भी आ गया. So when all these things are
one more problem is there, sir. Just it is a very common problem, and particularly with respect to ladies also, because sir, as the lockdown is going on different places throughout the country, so घरेलू काम काज everything you have to maintain. और इसके साथ आपको professional works भी करना पड़ा है. So you are much more loaded with extracurricular activities in different fields of life. So ये एक challenge है sir. Today it has become a challenge.
I can understand. And top of it, the maid servant or the servant were dependent upon previously. Right now, आप घर को अंदर allow.
I think we can take this question up, which I had flashed.
Last question, Gunakar Das.
There are two more questions actually. This is one, and another one related to NEP. I'll just flash it here. NEP 2020, whether it is helpful for the youth to build good model character. And one more, I'll just flash it. Do you think that distance learning or e-learning will become new norm after COVID-19? So these are the questions. So we can just
let me respond. The last question, Sonali or Sonil's question, new norm.
Yeah, Sonali Bhattacharjee.
I have my doubt, depending upon the situation. If again we are come back to normalcy, probably online classes won't be that much required because you're normal right now. You have injections, you have vaccines. COVID-19 is not there. Right. But if it will continue like this, then of course we have to depend upon online classes. But remember, whatever may be, as a teacher and examiner, even as a recruiter, companies knows जो बच्चा क्लास में पढ़ता है सीखता है, that no more that is in the online learning. You know it and I know it also. Even recruiter. For example, last year जो हमारा placement हुआ था, this year because of COVID etc. when this selection took place, the companies are not recruiting students, BTech MBA students, because they know that in a class में बच्चा जो भी पढ़ा था, लिखा था, the engagement used to be that much rigorous, serious learning, academically. That's not there in this system. No doubt the toppers of the 90 percentile, 90, they will get through. No doubt about it. But even if the recruiters know that the learning is not appropriate in these conditions, then how come e-learning will be the norm of the day? If the situation continues like this, of course, it will be the norm of the day. Otherwise, it won't. regarding new education policy and urban sort of things like that. See, nowhere in the new education policy it is categorically mentioned that it is meant for urban areas. True. It is talking about higher education institutions, center of advanced learning, role of the universities, etc., etc. But the way our existing system is there, I mean, infrastructure-wise, college, for example, etc., there are two ways. First thing, you can say that it is only for elite institutions, universities, etc. That is one way of explanation. Second is, who knows, suppose out of this, to cater to the need of Northeast region, hypothetically imagine that Guru Charan College is becoming autonomous institutions, a center of excellence in the Assam in Barak Valley. And because the only institution having roughly 50 years of existence, all the departments, more or less every department, 4 or 5 teachers, like this, according to this new education policy, हो सकता है Guru Charan College will be a sort of deemed university or potential, that center of excellence potential, something like that. हो सकता है, who knows?
Thank you for your good wish, sir. Thank you very much.
But nonetheless, Swarupa, I have a problem. Silchar is not a small town; it's a city. Literally, it's a city.
Yeah,
Right.
it's the second largest in Assam. Yeah.
As upper Guwahati. But I am worried about colleges in and around Silchar. Say
Yeah,
50
yeah,
kilometers, 40 kilometers.
Yeah.
But the question here is,
Remote areas, different remote
right,
areas.
remote area. The Guru
Yeah.
Charan College as a center of excellence in Barak Valley can link up with these small colleges at the advanced center. The teachers will come attend your classes sometimes, collaborative, or some of the students on online can attend your classes. Suppose Swarupa is
Yeah.
teaching something and the college doesn't have political science teacher, let them have the facilities to
Yeah.
listen to it.
Sir,
That
I
sort
would
of
like
link.
to, yeah, I would like to add something here. In fact, the IQAC Gurucharan College has taken this initiative of GCC Academia, keeping in mind the situation that we are facing right now. So we have actually planned for 1 year. We will conduct various such online lectures and events through GCC Academia, and we will give opportunities to various students and teachers also to get involved with our process. So we are trying to trying our best to do something in this regard. So this is
In
the
other words,
Academia. This is the first webinar under GCC Academia. And we are
And-
tomorrow also we have webinars from chemistry department, and
in other
and
words,
we will continue this process.
Devasis Babu, I am getting the impression that Guru Charan College has started to play right now test match all over the world. And I became the first batsman to open the score.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you.
Sir,
Yes, sir. Last point.
Sir, everything has its both merits and demerits, sir. The merit of this COVID situation is that at least we had an opportunity to interact with more and more, academicians or rather scholars from different, rather across the world, or rather internationally acclaimed scholars we can connect. Now, earlier we had also this seminars, but we could not record all these
Yeah.
things. Now, on this, because of this pandemic situation, we are whenever we are conducting all these things, all these are being recorded, and these will be permanently stored. And
Yeah.
when this will be counted as documents, these
Yeah.
will be remain as documents.
Yeah, it will
After
remain in
50 years
YouTube.
also, after
Yeah.
50
So
years,
Rupaji,
also,
I have to respond a little bit one question about new education policy and moral character. Just 2 minutes, I'll
Yes,
monitor,
sir.
right?
Yeah.
So, as a student and as a teacher, I do understand every education policy talks about creating individuals or citizens for the development of a country having good academic, spiritual, moral, scientific temperament, which can be, they can contribute something for the nation building. Look into each and every education policy, right? Though they didn't say nowhere in college level you're talking about moral education. That's true, right? Because morality is something very subjective issue, and it's a part of our socialization process. For example, मैं जिस परिवार में पैदा हुआ हूँ, मुझे जब छोटा बच्चा होता है, when I go to study to talk, go to कि बड़े लोगों का पैर छुओ, आशीर्वाद लो. बड़े लोगों को तुम मत बोलो, आप बोलो, right? बड़े लोग जब बोलते हैं खड़े हो जाओ. These are the part of my individuality.
This is the thing
Value.
we taught in India. This is the Indian value. This is Indian culture.
Everywhere, even not only in India, even foreign also, nowhere father will tell the child, please tell, don't tell the truth. Tell the
Yeah.
truth. Such bolo, jhoot mat bolo. If I've done some mistake, admit it and admit that I have done something, things will be rectified or taken care of. आपको माफ कर दिया जाएगा. But वो एक झूठ को बुलाने के लिए आप 4 झूठ बोलेंगे, that won't be many things. But nowhere education policy talked about this sort of act. It's a part of a socialization process. It's a part of my personality. For example, you might have seen in colleges, there are some students, झूठ बोलना उनका आदत है, क्लास बंक करना आदत है, आइंदा करना आदत है, झगड़ा कराना आदत है, and जहां पर मौका मिले पीटना, घुसना, as if they think they're participating in Olympics, in wrestling competition in Olympics. Some students are there. But you'll find same time, some students very humble, very gentle, very obedient, attending the classes, participating, noting down something, asking question, responding to you, the ideal model of a student. Can we recall in the same with us also, right? I mean, some of us as teachers, to be honest with you, nothing against anybody, we won't teach, go to the college, gossiping, common room, come out of that. Do you think an education policy can teach me about it? My duty as a teacher, taking 2 or 3 classes as per depending upon the situation, right? Am I prepared for that? How much I'm preparing, looking at my class note or doing something before going to a class, or class में जाकर मैं कोई हिंदी फिल्म का स्टोरी सुनाकर आ जाता? Am I really encouraging my students to think out of box and come to a point where there will be serious academic engagement on that particular subject, or I'm going to class and only talking about noting down certain points and बच्चों को बोलता हूँ रट लो इसको, तुम्हारा क्वेश्चन में आ जाएगा एंड सब में तुम्हारा जो यूनिवर्सिटी पेपर एग्जामिनेशन में, एंड विल स्कोर 60% ऑफ इट, बिकॉज़ द स्टूडेंट, आई एम एश्योरिंग द स्टूडेंट, इफ रट लो इसको सिर्फ पढ़ लो और कुछ मत पढ़ो, इसमें 2 ही चैप्टर आएगा, बाकी चैप्टर मत पढ़ो. Students is entitled, is interested to read only 2 chapters because he's getting 60 or 70% out of it. घर में जाकर बोला मम्मी पापा मेरा फर्स्ट क्लास हुआ है, प्रोफेसर स्वरूपा थैंक यू सो मच, आई गॉट फर्स्ट क्लास इन ऑनर्स. But do I really encourage the student, motivate him to really grossly engage with the subject? Be it Marx's interpretation of class analysis, be it Gandhi's concept of rural reconstruction, Gram Swaraj for that matter, or be it Rabindranath Tagore's concept of, the abode of peace, Vishwa Bharati, Santinika. The way talked about education. Education to learn from nature, songs, dance, drama, flora, fauna, where a child will learn to grow something. These are part of my values. These are part of my, nowhere education can really touch me, morality. Because morality is very subjective, from religion, it is attached to many things, by the way. And though here I'm not talking about any specific issues related to morality, new education policy that never might have talked about moral education, but nonetheless, these are certain issues or values we learn when we're born in this society, right? So that we can gradually, as and when I grow, say for example, I'm just giving concrete example. Suppose Devashish Babu is a good friend of mine. He comes to meet me, and being an IIT professor, suppose I do not want to talk to Devashish Babu, but I will tell my son, Devashish Babu मेरे घर को आता है. He is just putting the calling bell, and when my son opens, देखता है देवाशीष बाबू, and घर को आता है, बोलता है पापा देवाशीष अंकल आए. Then I told my son, okay बोल दो पापा घर में नहीं है. बच्चा जाता है, 5 साल का बच्चा, छोटा बच्चा, वो जाकर बोलता है देवाशीष अंकल पापा ने बोला कि पापा घर में नहीं है. Right to understand? देवाशीष अंकल पापा ने बोला कि पापा घर में नहीं है. I'm telling my son, be moral, be ethical. भगवान जगन्नाथ का दर्शन करो, नमस्ते करो, रथ यात्रा में नए कपड़ा पहनो, खाना खाओ, प्रणाम करो. But I am the same person telling my son, बेटा जब 2 मार्क के लिए तुम फर्स्ट क्लास से कम हो जाता है, कॉपी कर लेना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. And I'll be the person standing in front of the gate, छोटा सा चीट देने के लिए बच्चा को, बच्चा इस मेरा बच्चा IIT एंट्रेंस दे रहा, IIM एंट्रेंस दे रहा, थोड़ा सा चीट दे रहा, शायद उसमें कुछ आंसर है बच्चा क्लियर कर दे. Or if I know some professor and evaluating that person is evaluating that paper, say suppose Dr. Swarupa is evaluating a paper, civil service examination, I know that Swarupa is examining political science paper, and my son has a political science and general studies, political is a part of it, by the way, right? I will make a phone call to Swarupa जी कैसे हैं, क्या है, बहुत दिन होगा मुलाकात नहीं है, आपको मैं तरस रहा हूँ, मिल नहीं पा रहा हूँ. लास्ट में बोलूंगा मेरा बेटा सिविल सर्विस एग्जाम दे रहा है, मुझे पता है आप यू आर a part of panelist and expert in by UPSC, kindly look into it, उसका रोल नंबर है. But the same person I'm talking to my son about morality. I'm preaching morality to my students in my classroom. And I'm the same teacher doing all these things. Coming late to my class for 10 minutes, leaving my class before 10-15 minutes. What I'm doing? Because it's a subjective issue. And all of us learn this concept, these issues, by practice in our day-to-day life. You must have seen that, it is something sometimes said that, charity begins at home. Yes, true.
Definitely. A
Morality also.
lot of thanks to you, sir. A lot of thanks to you, Devashish sir. I think we are
I think, yeah,
with us.
I think Gyanendra has something to say. Shall I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gyanendra, you can, you can
We
unmute
are inviting Gyanendra to just wind up the session with the reading out of my notes. Please, Gyanendra, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Parida sir for being with us and elaborating so many important topics regarding the prospects of higher education in the context of COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the new education policy 2020. Now I'm going to read out the minutes of today's session. As sort of highlighted in today's session, the reading of original textbooks have gone down really very much, and also the vocational and practical education is lacking in the modern context when we have the new education policy and also in the COVID-19 pandemic situation. We also have some suggestions from sir. In the new education policy, transformation of higher educational institutions into larger institutions to accommodate more discipline, combining holistic approaches like we had during the time of Rabindranath Tagore, and also suggestion to not mix up all the disciplines and institutions into one academy to have all the disciplines or the multidiscipline and to have specific discipline-specific institutions so that we can provide better education. Capability of the student should be the matter before taking up any stream he or she wants to. Teaching in a classroom is different than appearing B.Ed or M.Phil classroom, B.Ed or M.Phil studies. That is why classroom teaching is very important, and it has been highlighted so much because classroom teaching methodology is rather important than a B.Ed or M.Phil degree. Need for training about classroom teaching has been highlighted. Levels of all the college are not same, and funds allocated and the infrastructure allocated to different institutions are different. So that is why we cannot expect same results from all the institutions, and that question is somewhat unanswered. Multiple entry and exit system that we have in the new education policy, the highlights of this point have been said that what will be the purpose of a certificate that has been procured after 1 year, that is a certificate course, or a diploma after 2 years? What will be the value of that certificate? Whether that certificate will procure any job to individual students who will have multiple entry or exit system in this new education policy. Can all disciplines and subjects be put into one basket and accommodate disciplines like dance, drama, and music into one institute? So the suggestions were to have different institutions for dance, music, and drama so that better education can be provided. In this context of MOU with foreign universities, when MOU can be done with foreign universities to get foreign education, local literature, flora, and fauna will be lacking. So local colleges, at the local college level, having local literature, flora, and fauna will be more productive. Innovation, awareness, and temperament is somewhat missing from our present institutions. And getting innovative and better faculties or students is somewhat a Herculean task. Getting an energized and enthusiastic teacher for all degree courses is really difficult. In the context of digital classroom, which as has been mentioned, is not very possible, and to some extent is difficult for all the classrooms to have digital classes. About COVID-19 pandemic context, the highlights were: this situation is something very unique and new, and which has never happened before. And what is more important in such a scenario is constant engagement with students. But even though we have network issues, load shedding, and the cost of online education is very much, which makes difficult for online classes. So it's very important to engage as much as possible with students. Sympathy and human behavior should be given more importance while teaching, and if possible, offline materials should be made available wherever possible. More students should be linked to have constant engagement, and maximum number of students should be tried to accommodate within the online model. Internet service provider can also come up with plans for students where they can bring out a different plans and programs so that the cost of online education for students is reduced and they can attend online classes easily without having to think so much about burning the pocket. In online classes, attention is lacking, which is a big problem, and it cannot be understood by the teacher whether a student is paying so much attention, which is an ethical problem, as has been mentioned. One college with excellence can link up with other colleges around, for example, colleges of rural sectors, so that better education can be provided to all the education via one excellence college. Health is a prime education factor in this situation, and health should be given more importance in this scenario. Whatever we do, health or our so that we don't get infected somehow should be more important. And education should continue, but with giving more importance towards our health. Thank you so much. That are the minutes of today's session.
Thank you, Gyanendra. Thank you very much. Beautifully, you have enlisted the gist of the first session of today's webinar. And sir, I am really thankful to you, Dr. Paridar, for this beautiful session, and I am also thankful to all the participants for interacting with us and for having a beautiful interactive session. And we shall be back again on 12:30 noon once again to have our second session. Till then, thank you everybody, and namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you.